Good evening, everyone tuning in. Looks like we are ready and raring to go. We're back with Rtg Mondays, and we're just waiting for everyone readying up now, and we can load in and get going for round 2 of this season's championship, which promises to be a good one. And we've got Flea in the chat saying, "Let's go, Flea." No prizes for guessing who you're supporting this evening, but best of luck to you. It was a rather interesting start to the season in Monaco last week. So let's see how things are this week. Absolutely polar opposite to Monaco, the Temple of Speed, or Monza. Monaco, all about real short straights. You pile on that downforce, all about the cornering grip. And today it's all about the straight line speed. Pretty much everyone, I reckon, be running 0-0 wings. While we are waiting for everyone to choose their tyre selection and load into qualifying, we'll just have a quick rundown of the standings. And at the top, it is absolute McLaren domination, because they finished 1 and 2 in the first round. Ginge leading the way, 29 points. Chuckle Brothers second, 23 points. Paul Jones, 20 points. Strong showing for AlphaTauri because his teammate Aki finished in 4th, 18 points. Chuck Brothers, Craig rounding out the top 5. You got Prof, Lee Craig, John Hans, Prodigy, and Bugatti rounding out the top 10. So, but it's only one round down. There's a lot of rounds to go in this championship, so all could change. So we've got a few cars out on track. David Benson heading straight out there. Off the bat, he is the first car to go. I think Josh McGill was second. I'm pretty sure these the Williams boys were first and second last time out on track. Quite a lot. Our drivers now making their way out of the pits. We've got Flea, McGeezer, also on their way out, and Tiedemann as well in the house. Got AlphaTauri coming out. Is that going to be Aki or is that going to be Paul? We'll see in a minute. It is Aki that has come out. Everyone on the outlap, everyone getting their tyres up to temperature. It's going to be qualifying on those soft compounder tyres. I don't think there's going to be any question of that, which tyre is the best in qualifying. Looks a little bit overcast, I must be honest. So if anyone is racing this evening and tuning in, do let me know if there's any rain forecast for the race. It's looking like it's dry but overcast. And yes, Lee, just reading your message. Yes, you are supporting yourself. No surprise there. Well, best of luck to you. You are in the Ferrari, which is going to put a bit of pressure on you, because it's Ferrari's home race as we watch Josh McGill go on to his first flying lap through the first chicane, neat and tidy. Can gain or lose a lot of time out of there, especially coming out of it. Round the curva grande we go. Be patient. Pick out your braking zone into the second chicane. Take as much curb on the left hand side as you want. Into the Lesmos then. Lesmo 1. Don't run too wide. Easy to invalidate or lose the back end and put it in the wall. Through Lesmo 2. Again, the same. The exit curve can be absolutely brutal at times. Down underneath the old layout, the old banking. Into the Ascari chicane. Cut as much of the left hand chicane on the way in as you can. Absolutely flat most of the way through. After then, absolute joy in these cars. Looks like he has caught his teammate very, very quickly. Hopefully his teammate won't get in his way too much. You might actually give him a little bit of a slipstream, a little bit of a tow coming up to the line even. And across the line, there's your benchmark, a 1:20.0. That's a very good benchmark time indeed. Action coming down again under the banking. Through the Ascari chicane. Again, takes a bit of curb. That's it then. Absolutely flat. That is very nice indeed. well within the track limits. McGeezer goes second, 120.3. That ain't far away from Josh McGill. That's some pace. I'm sure he'll be looking to find an extra 3/10 on there. Zaki rounds the Parabolica, which is now no longer the Parabolica, and I can't remember what it's called, but I'm going to call it the Parabolica because I can't remember, and that's what we all know it as. See Prof on a lap, AJ Baker on a lap. AJ Baker coming up to the line now. Let's see what he manages to set. He is going to slot into third place. Not a bad start. Lee Craig, 19.991. First driver into the 19s. That's a great banker lap, that is. As opening laps go, that's pretty solid. Paul Jones also slots into P2. Very, very fine margins here. Ginge slots in the middle of them all again. How close is this? I tell you what, I am excited for this qualifying session. Look how close the top few are. Barely half a tenth in the top 4. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Let's see who else we got to set a lap. Chuck is on a lap. So's Chuckle. Chuckle because he looks like he's a bit ahead on the lap. Let's see where he is. He's going through the Lesmo 1 now. Into Lesmo 2. Fire it on. Any time that you lose, any speed that you lose through the corner, you will lose all the way down this straight. Aston Martin giving him a bit of a slipstream and then pulling out the way. That's very helpful for him. He goes purple through to the middle sector. That's it. In through Scout Chicane, taking a lot of curb. That's what we like to see. Down the back straight we go. Pick out your braking point and your entry speed into Parabolica. Very difficult corner. You've got to take a lot of speed in, a lot of speed out, but easy to lose the back end. Across the line, what's he going to set? He's going to slot into 5th. Not all that far away, but it is incredibly close. Craig has unfortunately taken a little bit of a detour through the gravel. Nothing wrong with that line. Sure he'll be a bit disappointed with that, but on we go. He's got a couple more attempts. He's got another 12 minutes left to go to set a competitive lap time. No doubt he will be out there. I know he is very quick around Monza as we watch Bugatti in the Alpine. Set his opening lap, goes up to P10. Not a bad effort from the Alpine driver. Let's jump on board with Lee, shall we? He is vocalised in the chat that he is supporting himself. Can't say I blame him. I would support myself as well. And he is about to go onto a flying lap as we speak. Let's see what he can do. That's quite a nice wide line coming through the Parabolica. That's what you want to do. Take as much speed onto the next lap as you can. Pick out your braking point for turn 1, just about the 100-metre board, just before it tends to be. That's a lot of curb on the inside. Used to be able to do that in the previous game, but not so much on this game. But it looks like he's got away with it without unsettling the car too much. Round the curve of the Grande he goes. Again, pick out your braking point. All about getting that right braking point, because of the speeds you're travelling. Just a metre too late or a metre too early can cost you dearly. Carrying pretty reasonable speed through Lesmo 1. Again, just slowing it up a bit, not using all of that exit curb on Lesmo 2. So that will be compromising him a tenth or so down this straight. See how he takes the Scari. Again, taking half the car over the curb. That's nice. Just using a little bit of the inside curb on the left-hander. It's not too bad. Can unsettle you if you get too greedy though and take too much. Even running on the grass a bit just to maximise that track width as much as you can get away with. Good line through the Parabolica. Cut to the right hand side. Try and shortest run to the line. And 13th he goes. Looks like we've got Josh McGill on another lap. Everyone out of the top. Well, everyone back out on out laps now, as we see Lee coming out as well. Josh McGill not using much of the inside curb on the the second chicane. Personal preference, you can run a lot of it, but it's likely to unsettle the car. But the gains are quite huge if you get it right. However, it can end up costing you even more time again. Purple through sector 2 is half a tenth up, which doesn't seem like much, but half a tenth would see him jump right up behind Ginge in second place. So all he needs is just gain another little bit, and he could be looking at a P2 or even getting that provisional pole. That's what Josh will be aiming at if I know him. That's it, hug a real tight line there on the right hand side. Across the line, 1:19.927. Here goes provisional pole. That is a very nice lap indeed. Ginge across the line does improve a 20.003. Can't quite break into the 19s. Paul Jones again improves, but unless he's going on to his lap now, I apologise. I think he's actually going on to his lap now. So let's ride on board with the AlphaTauri. He's going very deep into the first chicane. I'm sure that's going to compromise him a little bit. And yeah, he's backed out of that one. The Chuckle once again on a flying lap. McLaren sat 3rd and 5th. They dominated with the 1-2 round Monaco, but it was a hard track to overtake. As Chuck Brothers, there we go, after that earlier mistake, his first banker lap, he's managed to set a 19.884. That's a cracking lap. And that's a real statement for everyone else. As he cuts the first chicane on his way back to the pits, he's not hanging around. See Lee Craig running very quickly through the second Lesmo. Down into the Oscar chicane. He is half a tenth down. He's struggling to find any more time. He's obviously set a very good opening banker lap. Ginge goes fastest now, 2 tenths clear of Chuck Brothers. That's a corking lap, that is. And once again, laying down the gauntlet there in the McLaren. Last corner for Lee. Let's see what he can do. Up to the line. It is a marginal improvement, but it's still only P4. So we've got, and Chuckle's gone up to a P2. Great improvement there. So we've got McLaren 1 and 2 again. Red Bull 3 and 4. We've got Williams in P5. Paul down in 6th. No, he will be disappointed with that. He'll be looking to make an improvement. As we got McGee's on a lap by the looks of it in the Mercedes. Let's see if we can make 5 thousandths up in the first sector. So we're getting marginal gains. Very difficult around this track because it's to gain a huge amount, but it's so easy to lose it. He goes down, there's going to be a Red Bull in his way. He's pulling out of the way, I would like to hope. Yeah, Red Bull pulls out onto the gravel, gets well out of the way. McGee's flirting with track limits on the exit there. Down into the parabolic he goes, throws the car in. Gets on the power nice and early, that's it. Flat out on that throttle. Swooping line, up he goes, and that puts him up to P7. 20.226, that is a very respectable lap time indeed. Also got Bugatti on the lap, he's a little bit down. Aki also on the lap, what's he doing through this? That is nearly half a second up for Aki, so this is going to be a very nice improvement. Indeed. Oh, again flirting with the track limits on the exit. Got to be using all of that track to keep as much speed in the car as possible. And that's where you'll gain the lap time. Up to the line, what's he going to set? He's going to go 6 tenths quicker. Great improvement there for Mackie. It sees him up to P11. Not far behind Prof either in P10. See, pull back out very early for his potentially final run. Wants the clear air. Doesn't want to get in too much traffic. Is Bugatti, is he going on to a lap? Looks like he's coming off of a lap, perhaps. He's on a cool down lap. McGee's is invalidated. So nobody currently on a lap. It is going to be Paul, or yeah, Paul's going to be the next one that's going to cross the line to go on to a fast lap. So we will keep an eye on him. There we go. As down into the final corner he goes. Got to get a good exit, take as much speed going on to that start-finish straight as you can. Monza, a very, very difficult track because it's so much, as I explained earlier, so much you can lose in terms of lap time. But because there's such long straights after every chicane or every corner, any tenth that you lose or gain coming out of one of those chicanes or one of those corners will just multiply by 3 or 4 times by the time you get to the end. The first chicane looked quick, bit scraggly, but he's gone through. Sector 1 time coming in now. He is nearly a tenth up. Taking a lot of curve. That's what we like to see. That's where the time is gained through that second chicane. In through Lesmo 1, keeping well within track limits. Doesn't want to risk it too much. In through Lesmo 2, using a bit of a curve. Nicely done. Carrying the speed all the way down this back straight now. Under the bridge. Purple sector 2, he's a tenth and a half up. Absolutely flat through the latter part of Ascari chicane. Again, going right up to the exit line. That's where you want to be putting the car. Carrying the most amount of speed you can through there. Into parabolic he goes. Throws that AlphaTauri in. On the power as early as he can. Hugging that tight right hand line. Make the shortest run possible to the line. And second place he goes. 2 tenths away from Ginge, but I'm sure he'll be reasonably happy with that. Everyone seems to be making their way out the pits now. Going on to start their final set of runs. Moment still got Danny, and Looneyman has joined as well. Good to see he's got all his issues sorted out, and Looneyman having quite a lot of technical issues with his PlayStation, so nice to see him here and out and about, and hopefully he can get a competitive lap time on the board, but I'm sure he'll just be more pleased to actually be here and have made it than actually looking for positions at this point. Very sharp turn in there for the Aston Martin. He's got a very pointy front end on turn in there. In he goes into the final corner. Not using all of the track, but just need to make sure you get a lap time on the board there. Up he goes, 14th. Very good, considering he's just hopped on with no practice. But Ginger is going quicker once again in the middle in the first sector. Sorry. In through Lesmo 1, taking a lot of speed through there, keeping it well within track limits. Into Lesmo 2. That's it. The car spun on the apex. That is a Alpine. That is Danny, who has lost his wing by the looks of things. Back on board with Ginge as he comes into the Ascari chicane. He is a 10th up, so looking to cement this pole position and stamp his authority over the rest of the field. Remember, he is currently leading the championship after that race win in Monaco, so looking to extend that lead further in that Papaya McLaren. Round the final corner he goes, not using all of the track, but doesn't matter. Up to the line he goes. Is he going to keep his improvement? He certainly is. A 1:19.496. That is a hell of a lap. As Chuckle is skirting round a stricken Red Bull, which is Lee Craig, who has put it in the wall. He will be taking no further part in this session. Chuckle is going a 10th and a half quicker and a purple middle sector. Can he pull something special out of the hat? He's going to need a good couple of tenths to rival Ginge here. But can he do it? He can certainly try and get ahead of Paul. with this lap, as long as he keeps it. Round the final corner he goes on the power. That's it. He's done it now. It's just a matter of waiting till he crosses that line. And he's going to go second in 19.588. He can't quite beat Ginge. That is unfortunate. Josh McGill has spun. He won't be improving on his lap. Everyone else pretty much running. Flea has invalidated. That is a shame. Danny has lost his wing. Bugatti is going to cross the line. He hasn't improved. And I think that is pretty much everyone. And there you have it. Second pole position in a row for Ginge. He is looking pretty mighty indeed in this championship, and I think he's going to take a lot of stopping. But remember, Monaco was hard to overtake. Monza is the exact opposite. Monza is a good track for overtaking. And there you have it, confirmation. Ginge gets pole, not by much, just shy of a tenth. Chuckle setting a very good lap time right at the end there. Paul, once again, sure he's going to be disappointed with third, a bit 3 tenths off as well. Craig does not improve on his final attempt, so that was his one and only effort. So I'm sure he'll be happy with that in fourth. McGee's is setting a nice lap in fifth. Lee Craig, I'm sure, will be disappointed. He started off looking at provisional pole with his laps, but unfortunately all went wrong. Put it in the wall at the end there. Josh McGill 7th, AJ Baker 8th, Royal Rumble 9th, and I believe it was Teichmann in 10th. And that is qualifying over and done with. And that set your grid order for the race, and I'm looking forward to this one because that is incredibly close and incredibly fast. Are we going to have any safety cars? Put your bets in chat. Who's going to win? How many safety cars are we going to get? And how many incidents are we going to get? Is it going to be a clean race? Is it going to be a dirty race? Are we going to get lots of incidents or not? Does look like it's going to be dry once again. I'm sure a lot of the drivers will be very pleased to see that it's going to be dry. Again, overcast though, so you know, are we going to get any rain towards the end? Shall have to wait and see. Everyone now finalising their strategy and also what tyres they want to start the race on. Going to be a pretty easy one-stopper round here. But, as I say, safety cars can affect that somewhat. So we just check what tyres everyone's going on. Pretty much everyone going on the mediums. Only exception, Lee Craig. He's going to go different. He's going to go on the hards. Teichmann also going to start on the hard compounded tyres. And right at the back you've got Flea and Danny also starting on those hard compounded tyres. You watch everyone try and weave, get some temperature into their tyres. Bit of a gap up front. A few people struggling to, well, not keeping up with the pack, but never mind. Any predictions for the race, do drop them in the chat below. Curious to have your thoughts on things. Do you think Ginge will run away with it once again? Or do you think Chuckle will be able to take the fight to his teammate? Do you think Paul will fight his way through? He's always one to watch in the race, especially in the long run. Keeping hold of those tyres. He always comes alive further onto the back end of the stint where everyone's tyres drops off. He manages to keep the pace going. Chuck as well, don't underestimate him. He has some serious pace as well. Geezer, Lee Craig, and we have a spinner. Who was that back there? That was Josh McGill, who's doing a bit of a David Coulthard on a opening lap of Monza. Chuckle gets himself ready, lining up for the grid, and he does a beautiful 360. I have no doubt he is doing that just for the cameras. What an absolute show off he is. But I must admit I did like it. as everyone else is now looking to line up on the grid, parking in the right spot. Anyone going to get disqualified? Anyone going to overshoot their mark? So far so good. Lee Craig was disqualified. Royal Rumble's disqualified further back. We've got a few more disqualifications further back. Also David Benson has been disqualified. Flea's been disqualified as well and reset back further back. So as we get ready for the lights to go. And it is lights out and away we go in Monza. Looks like it's a pretty good start from Paul Jones in third. He's going to be fighting to take that lead. The McLaren side by side, no way through for him though. As Chuckle looking to send it up the inside. There's contact between Paul and Chuckle, and Paul's having a bit of a wiggle on the exit. He's dropping positions now, and Craig goes up the back. McGeezer has lost it. What's happened to McGeezer? He is round and he has lost his wing as well, so that is not good news for the Mercedes driver, and Chuckle is under threat from his brother in the Red Bull, but he's not going to send it in there. That's going to be a bit ambitious. As we see AJ Baker, Royal Rumble is having a few issues. He's dropping back a little bit as we see Tiedemann trying to go right round the outside of Lesmo 1. That's a brilliant move if he's going to make that stick, and it looks like he has done as well. There's so many battles here. I am struggling to keep up. Prof and Looneyman also changing positions further back, but his status quo looks like Paul had a great start but just got boxed in, and a little bit of contact with one of the McLarens has dropped him back. I'm sure he's going to be ruining that and looking to make a move back through the field, but it is once again Ginge that has kept his head calm on the start and managed to get away in the lead. But as I say, this is not Monaco. This is Monza, and it is possible to overtake, as we see Josh McGill looking at the back of the Red Bull. Looks like he's getting a very good slipstream. Is he going to try and send it up the inside into turn one? No, he's going to think wiser of it. But he got very close indeed. And that's allowed Paul to get pretty close on the back end. Well, here we go once again now. Does look like Josh McGill's got a very nice exit, and once again the slipstream. Hold on Craig, but he just once again just cannot make the move. Not close enough. I'm sure that will change when DRS is there. Lee Craig has done pretty damn well in 6th place on those hard compound tyres. He is dropping back a little bit, which is a shame. I'm sure he'll want to be in DRS range, but they are much slower. As we see a spun Danny. Danny is round. Looks like he's got away without any damage, so I think he's going to be able to keep going. Just a loss of pride and a few high rear tyre temperatures. He's got away with that one. As we jump back up to the lead pack here, Paul Jones chasing down Josh McGill, who's chasing down Chuck, he's chasing down Chuck, who's chasing down Ginge. It is very tight, and I think this is going to be a bit of a DRS train once we get DRS enabled. And across the line we go. Ginge, fastest lap, no surprise there. Chuck now looking closest to make a move. DRS is now enabled, so I'm sure we're going to be seeing some moves made pretty shortly. Chuckle looks like he's a little bit slow through that first chicane. Danny gets himself a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane, so I'm guessing he did have damage and has pulled into the pit. Flea looks like he's dropped down a position further on back. Chuckle is actually struggling. He's dropped just out of a second there to Ginge, but he's managed to get back into it there, which I'm sure is key. We've got also Chicken and Blunts in the chat saying good luck lads. Absolutely, best of luck to everyone. You're all doing great so far. Very, very clean opening few laps. As you see, yeah, Danny gone on the mediums, McGee's has gone on the softs, and Bugatti's going to go the long haul and onto the hards, which isn't a bad call actually. But now, yeah, Chuckle, that DRS has really brought him back into the fight now. I'm sure Ginger will be ruining not being able to get out of that DRS range. But once again, it looks like Craig is the closest to making a move. He is closer to the back of Chuckle than Chuckle is to the back of Ginger. Can anyone make a move? Coming into turn one, DRS wide open, the closing speed is massive. but unfortunately nobody going to go past. But AJ Baker does make it past Lee Craig on those hards, but that, to be honest, is only a good thing for Lee Craig, because he's actually not far behind, and he's going to try and come back at AJ Baker here. Fair play to him on those hards. He's going to give it a go round the outside of the Curva de Grande, but he hasn't got enough battery to make it stick. That's a shame. As you see, again, Prof and Tiedemann going side by side round there as well. Prof on the inside, Tiedemann on the outside. Is there going to be room for two cars? It's very difficult to squeeze them through, and Prof gets away with it. That is very good racing from these two boys. McGee's now sets fastest lap of the race. He is on a brand new set of softs out there. Once again, the McLaren's getting very, very close. And Chuckle having a look at sizing a move, and I think it's left him a little bit vulnerable to his brother here. He's going to get the slipstream all the way down this straight. Is he going to make a move into the Parabolica? Looks like he's going to back out of it. Keep patient, and we got somebody spun. Who is that further back? That is Flea, has spun and is round, and is going to be able to get back going once again. But we're going to go back to the battle for second and third, because Chuck is looking at making a move on his brother. Down the inside, is he going to make a lunge? He isn't, but the Williams is going to try around the outside, outbraking himself nearly, but nearly making it stick, but not quite, as getting myself confused here. But Flea is round at the final corner once again, and Aki's managed to get past Tiedemann, who looks like he's had a few issues. Difficult to keep up with this tier. There's so much action up and down the field. I cannot keep up with you all. Can you all just like calm down a little bit? We can actually keep an eye on what's going on. Oh, fair play. It's a very interesting watch indeed. I'm absolutely loving this. I hope you're enjoying watching this as well, because this is just racing at its absolute finest. Through the Ascari chicane we'll go once again. Again, Chuck very close to the back of his brother. As we see, is that Royal Rumble now? Yes, it is. Royal Rumble has spun and gone back out as again, but we're once again going to jump back quickly and not hang around too long, because it looks like Chuck is very, very close to the back of his brother once again. Hasn't got much battery. I think Chuckle has a little bit more battery, but it looks like Chuck is the quicker driver at the moment. Once again, can't make a move, and that is that Tiedemann? Tiedemann has spun at the final corner and is dropping places left, right and centre. And now Josh McGill's having a run at Chuck. I think he's compromised his exit out of that first chicane, but he's just about held on to it. And this is the problem with the DRS train. You want to make a move up the train, it's so hard because everyone's got DRS pretty much except the lead driver. But you make one mistake, one little error, it's going to cost you time, and you are vulnerable and under attack from everyone behind you. So go through once again. Chicane, that's a great shot, isn't it? And oh, Chuck's going to make the move now. He has got much more speed coming out of the Ascari chicane. He's going to go down the inside of his brother. Hopefully, has he managed to steal DRS off of Ginge? Hope for his sake he has. If not, his brother could be coming right back past him once again. And it looks like he hasn't got DRS. That rear wing is not open. And his brother's going to come back at him now. Side by side, down into the braking zone of turn one. Who's the last on the brakes? It looks like Chuckle is. They're side by side, still through the exit. This is allowing Josh McGill to have a run on the both of them. Josh McGill forced onto the grass now. Chuckle is 3 wide through the Curva de Grande. That is absolutely insane. And who's come out in front? It looks like Josh McGill's come out on top of things, and oh, what a move. What great racing from these boys. I don't even know what to say, but that has cost them a whole second to Ginge, and I'm sure they're all going to be ruining that, but that just shows how competitive this is. Absolutely brilliant. Chuckle manages to keep the place from his brother, and both of them in turn lose a position, but now Josh McGill has not got DRS. Because of that squabbling, they have dropped right back from Ginge. And Ginge is, I'm sure, jumping up and down for joy at the sight of the gap behind him right now. Chuckle all over the back of Josh McGill here through the last half of this lap. DRS he's going to have. I think this is going to be a pretty clean pass. He is so close to the back of that Williams. Pulls to the inside. He wants that inside line coming into turn 1. Back onto his racing line. He's managed to make the move before the braking zone. And into second position once again he goes. But Josh McGill is going to have another chance to run at him. Down into the second chicane. He's going to pick up that slipstream, and it weirdly seems to be more powerful down this this section than anywhere else. So I find. We got a Mercedes of Megiza who was spun coming out the Escavi chicane. Paul Jones has got past Chuck. I missed what happened there. I don't know whether Chuck made a mistake or Paul managed to make a move on him, but Paul up to 4th position now. And Josh McGill DRS on Chuckle. And see, boys, if you play this right, rather than squabbling, you can DRS each other and you can manage to gain time back to Ginge, because you want to get back in that DRS range. It is so important right now. But I think we have a lapped car who may just give Chuckle DRS here. That is an Aston Martin. Is that Looney Man? That is Looney Man. Has he given Chuckle DRS here? Because that could be very important. Yes, Chuckle has DRS, so he's going to be able to defend from Josh McGill and also gain on his teammate once again. And you can see that time delta has come down through the first chicane. He needs to go to exit, and he needs a very, very good lap now. 1.5 seconds. He just needs half a second to get back in that DRS range. Otherwise, he could be very vulnerable to the guys behind. But he's not got much battery. Ginge has a reasonable amount of battery. I'm sure he's been burning it just to try and stay ahead. Paul very close to the back of Josh McGill there. Gets a great run out of the chicane. And is that Chuckle? Is that Chuckle that's spun? It certainly is. Chuckle is round. Oh my goodness, that has thrown this race upside down. The guy that is P2 in the championship, running P2 on the road, has just dropped it in the middle of the two Lesmos and is down to P7. And I'm sure he's going to be absolutely livid with himself. Looked like he just got a bit too much on the curb on the exit there. But how's that going to affect the dynamic of this battle? They are dropping one by one, and we're going to see who's going to come out on top. Ginge is loving all of this. He is running away with it out front. But it's not going to take much. It's just somebody manages to save up a bit of battery. And Paul's got a good amount of battery, hasn't he, down there? Chuckle looks like he's in the pits. Yeah, Chuckle in the pits. So he's going to go for the undercut and see what he can gain back on these guys. That's probably the only thing he can do right now. Yeah, he's going to go on fresh set of hard compound tyres. Pump in the lap times, get a bit of an undercut if he can. Paul looking at the back of Josh McGill, and this could be quite interesting now because Paul has been sitting there all race, and this is where he's very strong. He's been sitting there using the DRS, saving his battery, and look how much he's got, 70% battery. He's going to let Josh McGill push as hard as he can, try and gain as much as he can on Ginge, and then I'm sure he's going to make a move, use the DRS, try and leapfrog himself ahead of Josh McGill, and then see if he can just leapfrog himself into that DRS range of Ginge, who has used a lot of his battery now and is down to like 10%. Has Ginge got the pace to keep DRS range ahead of these guys? It's going to be absolutely fascinating. And again, the pit stop phase is coming up, so it's going to affect things somewhat. Paul is going to be looking to make a move on Josh McGill at the inside. He's going to go late on the brakes. They're side by side, a little bit of contact, but nothing untoward. And Paul sweeps around the outside on the exit. That is a beautiful move indeed, and it looks like Chuck is going to now get the run on Josh McGill as well. Has he got the straight line speed? I don't think he's got the battery power to make it work. And that has worked out nicely for Paul, who has had to use a lot of his battery in getting past. So he's not going to be too happy with that. But let's see what pace he's got out in clean air. Chuck is very close to the back of Josh McGill, but Josh McGill, as we said earlier, does have DRS now off Paul. I think Chuck needs to sit there and bide his time, save his battery a little bit, because he is depleted it quite a bit. If he can save some. Where are we at? Ginge still struggling for battery. Paul is looking to catch him. Lee Craig, don't forget about him. He's been running a very quiet race down there in 6th. He's being towed along quite nicely by AJ. As Ginge pits for the lead, he did the same at Monaco. He's not letting anyone undercut him. He is coming in first onto the hard compound tyres. Off he goes. Good stop by the McLaren boys. Away he goes once more. Well, I'm sure Paul will be looking to make the overcut. As we have, is that Flea spun round? Looks like a Ferrari, it is. And he's made quite a lot of debris on the track too. He's left most of the front end of that Ferrari out on the track. And I tell you what, Paul has actually just dropped Josh McGill out of the DRS range. I think he might just get it. Coming in there, I think he has. He certainly does. Paul is pushing extra hard to try and stay, or try and get out of that DRS range. And look how much it's. You can see how powerful it is. Gains you about 2 or 3 tenths along the straight. I think Josh McGill's worked himself back into it quite nicely, but Chuck is going to be having a look at the inside now. He's all over the back of the Williams. So you see David Benson go down a couple of positions there. Not sure what's happened, but off he goes. Oh, dummies for the pit. Chuck does. Paul is in the pits, so we'll keep an eye on that. But Chuck's going to be looking to try and make a move on Josh McGill into turn 1, but they both have DRS, and it's a bit of a stalemate somewhat. But we're going to jump back with Paul Jones, because this is going to be key. Where is Ginge? Here is Ginge coming around the Parabolica now. Paul Jones is on his way out. He is going to get the pit limiter off now, but Ginge is going to have the overspeed. Paul is ahead, but Ginge is going to be having much more closing speed into turn 1, and he is ahead. But I tell you what, if Paul can get these tyres up to temperature nice and quickly, he could be in DRS range here. God, he's just out of it. 1.1 seconds. He's desperately weaving, trying to get those tyres up to temperature, but the undercut hasn't worked that great for Ginge at this moment in time, because Paul has definitely closed in on him and is on a lap pressure tyres. I'm going to go back with Chuck and Josh, because they are once again fighting it out. I'm sure they're going to be coming in the pits soon. They're not going to want to be undercut too much by Ginge and Paul. Chuck just taking a line off to the right, perhaps cooling his engine a little bit. Running the slipstream too much, you will overheat your engine. And yeah, Chuck's coming in. Josh McGill is going to stay out, so we're going to see how they are. Yeah, Paul Jones struggling to get his tyres up to temperature. He has dropped further back from Ginge. But again, he does have 1 lap fresher tyres. Is that going to play much of a part in this? We shall see. Pull round the final corner. We're going to see where Chuck comes out. And there he is, and Paul is past. And Paul is still losing a bit of time to Ginge, so he's still struggling to get those tyres up to temperature. So the undercut isn't that powerful. but it's the fact it's getting your tyres up to temperature is incredibly difficult. So it's obviously taking a couple of laps here. There we see, yeah, there's Paul just starting to creep in a little bit closer, and you can see that Chuck came out right behind Paul and is dropping back. Those cold tyres really struggling. But I think Chuck's main aim is to undercut Josh McGill here, who is in the pits as well. The Williams in the pit now, so let's see where he comes out relative to everyone. See Ferrari fly past. Now that Josh is in the pits, Lee is in the pits as well. He's going on to the medium, so he's going to be one to watch out for. Does run over one of his pit crew on the way, but you know, oh well. You see Josh McGill coming out the pits. Where is he in relation to Chuck? Where's Chuck? Chuck is going to be behind, but as we just mentioned, Josh McGill is going to be on very cold tyres. Tell you what, Josh McGill has actually come ahead of Paul Jones, and that has held Paul up quite a bit. It's cost him a second now. He's got past quite easily, but it has cost him quite a lot of time, and it's also meant Chuck is on the back now of Josh McGill. So that has not worked out well for Paul, who's also got himself a 3-second time penalty for his troubles as he cuts a little bit of the chicane on the way in. It's a risky run, you gain so much time doing so, but so difficult to do, to judge it just right. Sure, Paul will be looking to try and get out of that DRS range of Josh McGill. As him and Chuck again nearly side by side through the Ascari chicane they go. Chuck all over the back of the Williams yet again. He is desperate to make a move, but just cannot find a way past. Unfortunately, that whole pit stop phase seems to have worked out brilliantly in Ginger's favour. As Chuck once again pushing the Williams along the straight, basically. He is so close to the back of that Williams. He's run out of battery deployment. He's going to go side by side, but it looks like Josh McGill's just a little bit deeper on the brakes. He's got to run. And he's held the position nicely, but again, that's cost him a bit of time to pull up ahead, and it could well have potentially dropped him out of DRS range. Yeah. Into the second chicane they go. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle on the entry for Chuck as he goes. I'll tell you what, we haven't really spoke much about anyone other than the top few. There's not been many close battles further down. It has to be said. Everyone pretty much spread out. You got AJ and Tiedemann, two teammates close on track. AJ on fresher tyres. I'm sure he'll be looking to get past soon. Lee Craig now in 5th position, but on fresh medium tyres, and he's going to be looking to close in on this pack come the end of the race. Josh McGill has managed to get himself back into DRS range of Paul, so Paul struggling for pace perhaps a little bit. We shall see. Lee Craig, there he goes. There's confirmation. Fastest lap of the Grand Prix. He's the quickest man out on track right now. Have to keep an eye on his progress as he goes through. They obviously will start dying off towards the end. Once again, Paul is looking to make inroads on Ginge out front. He has been running a very nice race, it has to be said. I think that squabbling between Chuck and Chuckle dropped everyone back from Ginge, and he's just sort of had it in the bag ever since, really. Squabbling, and it's dropping them away from him, just allowing him to keep that gap up. Nobody's really had a straight run of a few laps in a row where they can try and chip into that margin. Once again, we go down to the Parabolica. Lap 17 now of 27. We are getting closer to the end. We are pedaling in. Paul has that time penalty looming over him. I'm sure he's going to be absolutely livid about. Very unusual for Paul to get a penalty as well. Normally he's very good with track limits. I'm sure he's going to be kicking himself for that one as Josh McGill looks to make a move now. He's going to back out of it. Think better of it. Rtg is in the pits though. He's coming off of those old hards. Chuckle also closing in on the back of Prof, and we've also got, is that Bugatti Sloven around on the exit of the Scary chicane? It certainly is. And we see, oh, I missed that. Josh McGill manages to make a move past Paul into the second chicane. And into second position, Josh goes once again. This is a cracking old scrap. And only 1.4 seconds now behind Ginge. That overtaken battery usage has really helped them close in. And I think Ginge could be in trouble if Josh McGill gets a very good last sector to this lap. They could be looking at closing in and getting DRS range on Ginge, and that could spell disaster for the McLaren driver. He does not want these boys in DRS range. Look how much battery Josh McGill's using. I think he might have just sneaked DRS there. Let's see as he comes across the line whether he's managed to pick up that DRS. Royal Rumble gets a 5-second penalty. Josh McGill, yes, has got DRS on Ginge, and that has made this 3-car battle into a 4-car battle now. As we see Chuck gaining in on Prof. He's got DRS. I think he's a bit too far back to make a move at this point, but it's a bit of a recovery drive for him at this point. As Ginge now, I'm sure he'll be kicking himself for letting these boys get back within DRS range of him. Having said that, Josh McGill hasn't had a great chicane there, and has just dropped back out of it once again. So Ginge using his battery deployment quite well. Did he sneak it? Once again, he certainly did sneak it. I'm not sure how he managed to get that, because that was very close. Fair play to the Williams driver. He might have to deploy quite a bit of battery. He's dropped Paul actually with how much battery, and now Hardy's been pushing. But Paul still clinging on with that DRS, and Chuck hanging on in there as well for good measure. Lee Craig still 3 seconds back. Doesn't look like he's catching all that much. I think he's used a lot of his battery, in fairness. See Royal Rumble in the pits. He's going to drop back a few places. Let's see, check back in with Chuckle and Prof. See if Chuckle is closer this time around. 5 tenths as they go across the line. DRS is going to be wide open on that McLaren. Let's see what their straight line speed is going to be like. I think he's too far back this time. He certainly is, yeah. I'm not going to make a move there unless you're going to make a ridiculous lunge. But let's get back with the leaders. Josh McGill really on a charge right now. He is sat in behind the McLaren and Ginger, and I'm sure he would love to snatch this victory away. We do have a yellow flag in Sector 3. That is McGeezer, and that has potentially changed this whole race right around, because that is that a full safety car. I think it is a full safety car. It is a full safety car, just as Josh McGill was looking to make a move on the McLaren and Ginge. A full safety car. McGeezer in the Mercedes had a torrid race and has ended it up in the barriers, crashing out, and that's brought a safety car out. Is anyone going to pit? This is the interesting thing. There's so few laps remaining, but go soft till the end. It's got to be, surely. Josh McGill's going for it. Paul's going for it. Ginge is not. What's Chuck going to do? Chuck's doing it. Lee Craig is staying out. AJ's pitting. Prof is pitting. Chuckle is pitting. What's Aki going to do? Aki's going to pit as well. I'm pretty sure pretty much everyone's going to pit. Maybe Tiedemann. They might do, might not do. 2-lap-old soft. They're going to be pretty warm by the end. Yeah, he's going to pit. It's a sensible thing, really. are going to be quite knackered by the end. So that has changed things around. And I'll tell you what's also interesting, Josh McGill has gone on medium tyres. Paul on the softs, Josh McGill on the mediums. So we have leading the race, Ginge on hard compound tyres, Lee Craig on old medium tyres, Josh McGill on brand new mediums, Paul, Chuck and AJ and Prof and Chuckle even going further back on brand new softs. I tell you what, this is going to be a very spicy end to this race. Do not go anywhere, but boys. Whoever you thought was going to win a few laps ago, I bet that changes now. I'll tell you what, I think Josh McGill's in a pretty strong position if he can make a couple of moves pretty early on, but Paul and Chuck, God, on those softs, they're going to be absolutely rapid and looking to make moves left, right and centre if they can. So we wait for everyone to catch back up. Royal Rumble gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He is he's going to retire on track. He's given up. That's a shame. If he'd stayed out the previous lap and not pitted, he would have been able to unlap himself, and then he could have pitted. But there we go. Tiedeman's back in the pits again for some reason. Not sure what that's all about. Maybe the game put him on some quite old, well-used soft tyres. He's going to go mediums. That's an interesting call. I mean, the softs are going to die off quite a bit by the end. It depends how long before we get going again. I think Flea will be the last person to catch up. David Benson is lapped and in traffic, as is Looney Man. So yeah, just waiting for Flea will be the last guy to catch up with the pack. Is he going to catch up in time to go racing the next lap? I don't think he is going to, you know. It's quite a long way away. You see that Ferrari is incredibly dirty on the side. He's obviously had he's had a few excursions this race. I'm sure Ginger will be a bit happy to keep going around under the safety car. He won't want to get this race restarted because everyone behind him is on much quicker tyres. He could find himself being a bit of a sitting duck at this restart. This could change the championship right round as well. Who's going to come out on top? Paul, remember, with that penalty. So he's going to need to pull a 3-second gap to anyone behind him if he wants to keep his position. As once again we go round for another lap while we still wait for Flea to catch up, who is getting there. Paul just hanging back a little bit, not sure what that's all about. Perhaps doing a bit of tyre warming. But wow, oh wow. I do not know what to say. This safety car has blown the whole thing wide open. This is anyone's race now. I mean, just before the safety car, I think you would have put good money on Josh McGill then running away with it, because he looked like he was about to have a go at going getting past Ginger, and he had the pace to do so. The rate he was catching him, but he didn't have much battery, and would he have been able to hold on to it? That's the question. Now things are spiced up an awful lot as we see Flea has managed to catch up with the back of the pack, which is good to see, and he's back in the race once again. And hopefully that will mean the safety car will come in this lap. So Ginger's dropping back a little bit from the safety car. There we go. He's caught back up, and safety car is in at the end of this lap, and we're going to go back racing again. We're on lap 23 or 24. It is going to be lap 24 that we are going back racing on. Not many laps left, and it is going to be a free-for-all. I predict carnage. Let's see what happens, but I'm excited to see. Through we go, warming those tyres up. When is Ginger going to make the move? I'm sure he's going to go as late as he possibly can. He does not want to give anyone a slipstream and a run on him. And he is going to go now. He is gone, and he's managed to get a good jump over Lee Craig. Looks like there's a Williams further back. I think it was David Benson who had been lapped, pulling off to one side and getting himself a time penalty for it. It certainly was. Aki's having a little bit of trouble. Aki's got himself a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Not sure what that's all about. I'm sure we'll find out in the steward's room after. As we got Josh McGill looking to go around the outside of Lee Craig into the second chicane. He's now down the inside. Is there going to be a little bit of contact? Lee is holding the position very nicely, but he gets a bit of a wiggle on coming out of the exit. He's got the inside line for Lesmo 1, but he has to concede that position. There's no way he can hold on to it. And now Paul Jones is all over the back of him and going to be looking to make a move on those soft compound tyres. He needs to shoot up the order as soon as he can. Cannot make a move into the Ascari chicane. No DRS, remember, right now. Josh McGill all over the back now of Ginge. He's going to be looking to make a move. Paul also all over the back of Lee Craig. The Red Bull could be dropping back here potentially. Paul thinking better of it just before the Ascari chicane. And once again, not going to make a move. But let's jump back up. Josh McGill getting a nice slipstream on the McLaren of Ginge. He's getting closer, ever closer as they approach turn 1 chicane. Is he going to go at the inside? Is he close enough even to go at the inside? I don't think he is. And I don't think Paul's going to be able to make a move either. However, Prof gets himself a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That does not look like a corner cut to me. That looks like he is on the outside of the corner in a barrier. How he's got a penalty for that, I will never know. Onward we go. Tiedemann getting a move done on Bugatti Sloven. Sure, he'll be very pleased to see the back of the Alpine. Josh McGill, once again, still all over the back of Ginge, who is fighting for his life. He's held the lead of this race for pretty much every single lap, bar the pit stop phase, where they work themselves out. But I think he could be about to lose it because the Williams driver is all over the back of him and wanting to make a move, as is Paul all over the back of the Red Bull. I don't know where to look. This is absolutely incredible. Is anyone going to make a move into Parabolica? No, I don't think they are. Paul's having a look at the inside but can't quite make it stick. Oh, he is. He's going to go on the inside of Craig. Down the start finish straight they go, side by side, but we've also got to watch Josh McGill making a move for the lead. He's going to go up the inside of Ginge coming into turn 1. Who's going to be latest on the brakes? Who's the braver of the two? It's going to be Josh McGill. He makes it into the chicane. Ginge gets a little bit of a slide on through the middle of the chicane. Paul and Chuck both make it past Lee coming through that chicane as well. They're bunching up and it is getting incredibly difficult. Flea has managed to DNF himself coming out the Ascari chicane. It is all kicking off now. Paul once again using a lot of that chicane, and he is on much quicker tyres, and I think now it's only a matter of time before he's going to make a move on Ginge. But remember, he does have that time penalty, so as long as Ginge can stay within 3 seconds of Paul, it's not going to matter. Paul will have DRS. Ginge will not have DRS to defend it. It's a bit of waving. Paul is going to go around the outside. He's being squeezed, but he has managed to swoop around the outside. That is a beautiful move. And Ginge is going to get a bit of a wiggle on. Chuck is now going to make a look at making a move past the McLaren. Has he got enough battery? Is he going to try? I think he's choosing to wait and be patient. And you've also got Chuckle at the back of this pack as well. Thanks to that safety car's managed to catch back up. Is it going to go once again down the start finish straight? We are onto the final lap of the race. I don't know where to look. Lee has dropped back. What is going on here? This is absolute madness. What brilliant racing from these boys. Absolutely insane. I do not know where to look. Josh McGill is running away with it. 2.6 seconds out in the lead. He looking good for the win. Paul in second, but he has that part-time penalty, and that is going to drop him right down the order. Quite a way, in fact. And I think he's going to be very annoyed with that. Can he pull a bit of a gap in this last lap? Can he find a way to pull 3 seconds on any of these guys? Because 3 seconds right now is going to drop him. How many positions? It could drop him all the way down to 8th at this rate, or 9th. They're not that far behind him. And we got Chuck and Chuckle going side by side once again. Remember, they started this race off fighting one another. And, Chuck makes a bit of a mistake there. And is that going to allow Lee through? Or Lee... I didn't see what happened. I'm losing the plot, but we're going to go back to Josh McGill, because Josh McGill is going to round the Parabolica for the final time. He is going to cross the line and win round 2 at Monza. Paul is going to take second position, but he's going to drop back with penalties. Ginge is going to take second place. Chuckle making it a McLaren 2-3. What a comeback for Chuckle, thanks to that safety car. There's damage flying on the track even after the race. That is this tier summed up. Chuck is going to take a brilliant 4th place. Paul does hold on to 5th. And oh my goodness, I need to catch my breath after that, because what the hell just happened? Absolutely insane, that race. I could not keep up with all of that. I don't even know what's happened. I think I'm going to have to watch it back. Josh McGill gets driver of the day according to the game. I mean, let's see where everyone came from on the grid, but I can't say I'll really argue with that too much. I think you could give it to pretty much anyone out there. It was all action stations at the front. Josh McGill, I'm sure, absolutely over the moon with that win. Did the safety car give it to him? Well, he was looking pretty strong anyway, wasn't he? Let's be honest. McLaren somehow, Chuckle, managed to get back up onto the podium, and that's going to extend their lead in the championship. Paul, I'm sure, absolutely kicking himself for that penalty. Lee Craig gets 6th and fastest lap, so an extra point for him there. AJ Baker is a Haas 7-8, so decent points for Haas. Tiedemann in 8th, Bugatti Sloven in 9th, and Aki rounding out the points playing positions in 10th. Despite that 5-second penalty, I'm sure we'll find out what that's for later on. But what a race. Absolutely insane. As we wait for everyone to go, I don't know what to say. I think I'm just going to leave it there, because that was hectic. It was exciting. It was brilliant. And I cannot wait for round 3 next week. And I hope you can join me there. Until then, goodbye.